Let's have a look at this video, here. And it's a very pathetic video, very sorrowful one, very sorry kind of video. But it just tells you how devastating selfishness is, how destructive selfishness is. That's why God doesn't encourage selfishness. That's why God is the opposite of selfishness. But selfishness is a characteristic of Satan. Belongs to the kingdom of darkness. It's the very opposite of God. And this is what our churches are preaching about. Let's have a look here about this video. Let's have a look.
I've been at the top there before coming down. But then I just want to tell my listeners that the devil don't give anything for free. I went to good schools, Datius Preparatory. From there, I went to Kwabotwe. I am from Kwabotwe. I went to Achimota School. From Achimota College, sixth form, I went to the Institute of Journalism. But then, the journalism was not really paying. I was working with the BBC. It was not paying like today. Though it was a satisfactory job. But then, my lifestyle was so big, I wanted to impress. So, I started dealing in drugs. My first one that I took was India Hemp, and that one was for somebody, and I was a career. I made $4,000, and then my second trip, I made $8,000. And I said, look, come on, let me do it by my own. I went about 4 trips with India Hemp, and I realized that we was...
Your trip to where?
I made a trip to Italy. I made a trip to Switzerland. I made a trip to United States. And then after that, I started dealing with cocaine. And with the cocaine, I was a big boy. As at 1982, December, I was controlling $162,000. I made benefit of dollars at the Wilbur Hotel, which is now a bank opposite bus stop. And I had a lot of hangers, so I don't take taxi because I felt taking a taxi is a humiliation. I change cars every 2 months. From Jaguar XJS1, I brought Lincoln Continental. The only car I've never brought down here was a Bentley and then a Rolls Royce. Then I was busted in 1984 to March. And it was one of the biggest catch of cocaine from the continent of Africa. That is 142 tons. Yes, I was busted, and then I made a little bit of time because my passport shows that I was younger. But then if you see me with my gray hair, you think I'm 75 or 80. Yes, because after I left jail and then came back, I lost all my friends. As for the women, when you have deeper pockets and you have a lot of dollars, they call you honey. But when you get broke and you develop holes in your pocket, they make themselves conveniently unavailable. They vanish. The friends vanish. Out of frustration, me myself, I started to use the drug. Believe me, don't ever go there. Don't let anybody deceive you. Heroin and cocaine. Because with cocaine, when you have 100 million now, within the next 4 hours, you're going to get broke. It will get finished. Yes, and with the heroin, once you start taking it, once you start taking it, within a 1 month, you get what they call cold turkey. Without it, you can't survive. Your social life, your physical life, you can't even travel. For a long time, I didn't travel. I don't go to funerals because when I go to maybe Kumasi and the cold turkey, I don't have someone to stop or it runs out. I will have cold turkey. And what is cold turkey? You have stomach cramps, you have romanticism type of things, and it's the only thing that follows you to your dream. Even your dream, when you have cold turkey, in your dream, it will follow you, and they will give you stuff in your dream. It shouldn't work because it's not a real thing. You wake up, the pain is there. You will sell your car worth about $200,000 for $5,000, and you are happy that you got in that money to sustain and support that happy. So I am begging my listeners and that don't ever do the mistake that I did. I have seen women, when we talk about women, I've seen women I can describe as seductive brilliance of the woman with guitar shape, luscious and kissable lips. I have moved by the best women. I've taken women to Switzerland. I don't want to mention names. And I have slept at Grand Sheraton, which I pay $1,500 a day. Taking women to Venice. Venice is a city on water where you just go with a gondola, the boat, yes, with light reflecting on the river. It is what I call a kaleidoscope, you know, paradise on earth, yes, all because I want to impress the women. But at the end of the day, yes, they are there for you. They will call you names, darling, honey, yes, but then the day when you develop holes, they will call you Pepe because the magic is gone. They were there just because of your pocket, yes. And so, I will plead with you don't make the mistake I did. Today there are places that I go, they look down at me from my foot where I have one 7-row suit. 7 rows, they are in England. They make the best suit. Not the kind of suit people wear like carpenters sold them. These are suits made by Italian tailors, and when they sew one part, they patch it up. Yes, you wear it and you see that, yes, you wear a suit, yes. And those days when you put up a shoe, I'm talking about calf leather. Here, Kadin, yes. We didn't have China where people go and bring that kind of stuff. I wear rollers, date chronograph, automatic self-rewinding people. Yes, I bought for my girlfriend Cartier 18 carats studded with green emeralds. Green emerald is the highest form of diamonds. Yes, but today when I see the women, they tell me, hey, Jeff, is that you? They give me a gift of $50. Bride plays a backseat to desperation. You may say that, well, you have flexed these women before, you have taken them. I've never flown on Zongo on an aircraft before, not even Ghana Airways. I go with Switzerland, I go with Panam, and always business class, yes. I fly from Britain, that is London to New York with Concorde. I pay $4,700 there to go from London to New York, which is under normal circumstance, when you go by the DC-10 or the Boeing 747, will take you about 6 hours. But then with the Concorde, it will take you 3.5 hours, yes. But then at the end of the day, you become so humiliated, you want to kill yourself. I've tried killing myself 2 times, it didn't work, yes. I drove a car into a tree at a down, it never worked. And then the second time I took Valium. The Valium I took 10 milligrams, I took about 20. But that day I woke up a bit earlier than I normally get out of bed. I said, well, stop fighting God. And at that time, I saw people who go to church like they don't have what it takes. That is why they go and hide in church, because I thought I was too smart. One time I told a guy, I'll feed you for the rest of your life. You can't compare yourself to me. God forgive me. When I see this guy today, he said, Charlie, take. He give me pittance, yes. And so I'm such an emotional and sentimental person that when people despise me, I feel so bad. The other day, I went to a church. Somebody invited me. When I walked into the church, what the pastor said, the head pastor who has given himself titles, Bishop, International, who brought this? Who is this man? Some kind of souls you can win. And I just felt so humiliated. I walked out of the church. Yes, but then, yeah, life is about what you make it. I wanted to be rich. I became rich, fabulously rich. But then, what use will it make when you are young and you are rich, and then getting to your 60s, you look like an AIDS patient, or you look like about 75 years, people despising you? No. It is better that you go through the meal, you struggle through the meal, and then at the end of the day, when you are getting older, yes, then you make it. Because there's a saying that the victims give no explanation, but the majority do not look out for circumstantial details, but for the successful and unsuccessful outcome. Almost without exception, people will pretend like they love you, but it is articulating a minor motive against an inarticulate major motive. They want your pocket, they want to chop you. And when they chop you and the magic is gone, they say bye-bye. And the kind of things they say about you, yeah, you hear it and you just want to take your life. But then, at the end of the day, I thank God that I'm alive. I still get these suicidal tendencies once in a while. But then, I really want to impart this free advice to you. If you take it, it's going to help you. Because the worst thing that can happen to you is not broken heart. It's when you get hooked to drugs. You feel so bad, yes, and you are hooked, and yes, you are a slave to it, and people will despise you. Your family will get humiliated. Somebody go to your sister to buy things in the shop and say, hey, I saw that your brother, the mad person. Come to think of it, do I sound like a mad person? But this is what drugs, and to quit it was not easy. And after quitting it, people will see you that once a thief, always a thief. Once a drug addict, always a drug addict. Yes. So I will appeal that when people are able to kick the habit, society should not neglect them, because when you start neglecting people, they say, well, after all, the world is neglecting me, even church is neglecting me. Yes, I'm not calling for sympathy, but it makes you go back and do the things you were doing. You say that, oh, I don't care, it's not my relative. Somebody will go and move something from your car. Somebody will break into your car to steal your laptop and money, because they have cold turkey, and you are desperate, and you will do anything to support the habit. You don't mind stealing. When they catch you, they catch you. Yes, that is when the advanced countries like Scandinavia, when you are a drug addict, you go and register at the drugstore, and they give you an artificial heroin, methadone, where when you take it, you get normal, not get high. But here we don't have that facilities. They take you to mental hospital, they give you Lagati, yes, and when they give you Lagati instead of methadone, you become so stiff, and you become like, as I got people say, bulu bulu. Your neck becomes so stiff, yes, and before you realize, you get from bad to worse. Yes, I really don't want to know. But then, if you have somebody, a relative or a friend going to drugs, or you intend to go to a drug, my friend, you are going to end up to be the most miserable person in the world. I can vote for it, because I've been a drug addict for 26 years.
Wow. What a story. What a story. Well, this story we are seeing here. Now, the gist of the story is that this guy was a journalist, was one of the first Ghanaian journalists to work for BBC. He was so smart, he was so good, that BBC employed him from Africa to work for them. But greed, selfishness destroyed him. Because he was thinking, BBC is good, but it's a long time to make it big, salary, living on salary. He wanted to live a more selfish life. He loved himself too much. He said, love is not selfish. When you begin to be selfish, selfishness destroys you. But whatever we have had in this man's story The same thing happens to every selfish person. Only on different level, but selfishness destroys you. And the church in Nigeria has been destroyed by selfishness right now. Those our bishops, they are being destroyed on a daily basis. You think they are doing fine. People who don't know the inside story, you might think that they are doing well, but they are actually being ruined. Anyone that is selfish, that just building his own life, building his own empire, just thinking about himself, about his own good, and thinks less and cares less about people, this is the rottenness that is happening to them. Now, I'm going to get you a comparison. We just saw how evil selfishness is and why God says we should not be selfish. We should live in love, which is, being selfless, to prefer others above ourselves and live a selfless life. Now, but let's hear what the churches in Nigeria are teaching. So, if selfishness is so destructive, you would think that all churches are supposed to be teaching against selfishness and, to deliver people from ego and from selfishness. But Nigerian churches, almost all of them, of course there are remnants, but most of them, they are only teaching the same selfishness that brings you evil and destruction is what pastors and churches in Nigeria are selling. Majorly, all their teachings are bordered around the person, the individual, your needs, your breakthrough, your miracle. It's all about self. Actually, they are destroying you. They are ruining your life. They are ruining your children's lives. They are ruining your destiny. They are destroying you. Message of selfishness destroys. Only love can cure it. Let's have a look at what a Nigerian pastor, typical pastor, is teaching about. And he's one of their leaders. He's one of the big ones. He's